Hello everyone and welcome again. In this video I'm going to talk about something that happens to many of us, and that is that we often have a feeling that we are lost in life and we do not know where to turn and also where we came from. So this feeling is obviously a problematic one because it often leaves us frustrated, and then we often lash out, and then also this leads to things like depression, anxiety, and a host of other things. So what I mean by returning to our roots and our essence and nature, I don't mean that we need to get in touch with where we came from as far as our family lineage. What I mean is that we need to go a little bit further than that, and we need to connect to where we actually originated, and that is nature. So what happens when we go out in nature? We often feel much more at peace, happier, and this is not a simple coincidence. It is something that is helping us because we are reconnecting with where we came from. Now I know that a lot of people are kind of like have the opposite view, that we are separate from nature, and that has to do with the man versus nature, the evolution theory, and that we are in competition with nature. And at the end, we cannot be in competition with what we originated from. If we do that, we are basically fighting against ourselves, a much bigger part than just simply ourselves. But that's another topic for another time. So at the end, what should we do as far as reconnecting to this? And a simple way to get back in touch with things like this is that we need to start anew. So because we do believe that we are separate from nature and that we are in competition with it, we should start by saying that we know nothing. Now I know that a lot of people will be scared of something like this and say, I can't say that because I obviously will become extremely agitated and stressed out, because I obviously do know certain things, and of course there are certain things that we do know. But at the end, if we don't start fresh, if we don't start from a blank slate, then we will have problems identifying things that don't help us. And these are, if we are not our anger at the end, we are not our stress, we are not our unhappiness, we are not just this flesh and bones. There are many things that we believe that we are, that, and we just simply believe it because it was something that we were told once, and then we internalized it, and then obviously we have a whole bunch of problems that that starts at that point, and then eventually brings us out of the point that we are now. So what happens to people that go in that direction is that we will feel alienated because we are separate from nature. And that's why going out in nature does what it does to us. It makes us feel more at peace. It leads to lowered stress levels. The anxiety also diminishes greatly. And this is not just a fluke. This happens because we are reconnecting to what we really are. And at the end, it is showing us that we are in fact not separate. We are part of this. So this sense of alienation that we feel, it vanishes when we go out in nature. We reconnect with the trees, we reconnect with the animals, and we no longer feel that we are a separate being from nature and the animal kingdom. And a lot of people take it for granted when they go out for a walk in nature. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people do. Because we don't necessarily feel this reconnection that we get when we go out in nature. We feel it in our feelings, but we don't understand it. We don't comprehend it in our minds. And that is obviously the root of the problem, is that we believe that we are apart from, different from nature, and we internalize it. And because we internalize it, then the feelings that we do feel, we kind of like negate them. And that obviously leads to a whole bunch of other problems. So I would encourage people that have problems with anxiety, stress, depression, to go out in nature and to feel it yourself. And going out and feeling it for yourself will help you gain clarity on who you really are. Now, this is a video where I talked about nature a lot, but in fact it's more an analogy or a metaphor for something else that we can reconnect with, within ourselves. And by doing that, then many of our problems will be not necessarily forgotten, but we will no longer see them as problems, because we will allow our feelings to guide us and to lead the way, and not for our mind that we hold the belief of, I'm separate from nature, and therefore I need to be in competition with it. It'll vanish. So I'm going to be leaving a link to my video, to my article on the description, and also a link to my Facebook. So if there's anybody that would like to leave a comment or has any questions, please feel free. And until next time.